Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? My name is Lowell, and this is, of course, Let's Taste It. How's everybody doing on this, post-spring weekend here that we have? I've been gone for a little bit, in and out. I might drop off a video here and there, but I'm back now and here to talk about some good bourbons and some good foods leading from the spring into the summertime. So let's get at it. So right now, the first one I want to talk about, since I've been back, is the Blue Note. I know everybody has, their go-tos. For some people it's Wild Turkey. Some people it's Elijah Craig. But for me personally, it's the Blue Note products. It's always been the Blue Note ever since I really got, really active in the drinking bourbon. It's just something about all three facets, the nose, the palate, and the finish have always been pretty good for me. So that's basically what I've been sticking with as my go-to. So this one right here, this is the mixtape. Comes in at 116 proof, and by the way, these guys are based out of Memphis. BR Distilling, and this is pretty much a pretty good product as far as I'm concerned. I think, me personally now, this is just me personally, I just think that Blue Note sometimes gets, a bad rap, due to the fact that, there's so many different, brands out there, and it's not, one of the, the unicorn that everybody's out running and chasing and stuff like that. It's everywhere. It's reasonably priced. It's from $40 to $45, maybe $48, $49, depending on where you are. But it's not hard to find at all. The products are not hard to find at all. So I think, it sort of gets a bad rap, from time to time. But me personally, that's why I decided to come on here and chit-chat with you guys about it. Maybe you guys want to give it a try. If you haven't tried any Blue Note product whatsoever, maybe you guys want to go ahead and give it a try. So this one, like I said, is it's the Blue Note mixtape. Also have a couple other store picks here. This one is from local bourbon group. They just dropped a barrel pick here. This one is at 123.5 proof. This is probably the highest proof Blue Note that I have as of right now. This is another store pick here from the Army installation right up the street. And this one comes in at 117.9 proof. I also have a Blue Note Crossroads. I'll talk a little bit about that one later on. I have a Blue Note Rye. This is very low proof, comes in at only 93. I have the Blue Note Honey Rye Cask. This is a cask strength. And this one comes in at 117.2 proof. Now, I know people like to say, well, okay, well, I don't want my bourbon sweet, and that's up to you. It's all about what you like or what you don't. And, I've always said to people in the past, I always like what I like. So I'm going to drink what I drink, So, let's pour it up. Let's taste it. While we're sitting here and letting this one get a little air to it. I picked this one up also here. This is another rye, but it's a cask strength. This one comes in at 115.7 proof. I have not tried this cask strength rye. I'm definitely looking forward to doing that. So we're going to go ahead and crack this open. While this one is airing out, we're going to crack this one open too. So while we're doing this, um, like I said, everybody likes what they like and what they don't. Have you guys had a actual bourbon that you guys absolutely absolutely despised, and you guys wanted to throw it all away and just be done with the entire bottle? You know, for me, it was that original Four Roses. I mean, I know people gonna say, "Oh, Four Roses is this, Four Roses is that," and you know all these things. I got it, but for me, that very first original, it's a good pop, by the way. That very first original, uh, it was just something that, you know, I didn't like out of it. You know, I let it sit for a while. I came back to it. You know, and you know, I think I did all the things that I was supposed to do. You know, and you know, it just never really, developed for me. You know, and like I said, that's just me. But it never really, gave me what I wanted from it. You know, so, and I guess sometimes it's like that. Sometimes those things actually happen to where it's just like, this is not the one for you. Okay, so let's get into this uncut. Very good on the nose. Very good on the nose. Like I said, this one comes in at 116. Does not pour like 116 at all. There's a small hug, but it's not anything that's like you know. Great mouthfeel. To me, it's kind of a creamy flavor, very flavorful bourbon. And like I said, for the price point, I don't think you can beat that. You can use it as, to me, it could be an everyday sipper. I don't drink every day, but it could be an everyday sipper if you wanted it to be. So let's go in again though. Even sweeter the second time going in. Yeah. And as you can see, that's why the bottle, is where it's at. You know. Now, okay, for this rye cask strength, I'm not getting that heavy ethanol at all, which is always a good thing. You don't want to always have to smell it as soon as it hits your nose. So that's definitely a good thing. Immediately you get those spices. Um, maybe some peppercorn in there. I haven't checked out the notes, but I do get the spice. Um, maybe even a little bit of vanilla in there. I'm not for sure. Let's go back in. Let's taste it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, this one also does not pour like a 115. Everything you also get that nice hug going in, but nothing too crazy. So again, I recommend you grabbing that one up. Um, whew, that's what we're talking about. And the last one we're gonna hit up is this honey rye cask. Now, this one's a little bit harder to find. This one was also a little bit more expensive. It is a 2024 release. Came in around $75 if you can find it. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be around actually, but if you find it, you may want to take it. If you're a person that likes honey flavored bourbon or bourbons that are a little bit sweeter, you may want to go and look at picking this one up. Let's give it a pour. This one has more of a floral nose. Like I said, this one is also sitting at it's a cash strength, it's sitting at 117. Yeah, I might mess around and get trashed on the side. Wouldn't be the first time though, would it? Let's taste it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not as sweet as you may think. I know you may see honey rye, you may see honey, and it may make you think that, oh man, it's full of honey and stuff like that. I think that's the same thing that some people are saying about that 113 from 13 Colonies, as far as the maple. I've heard some people say it's a little bit too sweet. I personally had just a small bit of it in the distillery a few weeks ago. I didn't really get that that oversweet on the palate at all, but I only had like a very small amount of it. So it's worth taking a look at and probably trying to get a bottle or get a better pour of it, so I can make a better assessment of it. Let's go back in on this one again. Yeah. Same amount of sweetness. No heavy burn going down. All three of these possess pretty much the same qualities as far as the palate. They don't really burn going down at all, but you just get that natural hug of going down your chest. So nothing too crazy. All three solid pours. I would recommend every last one of these bottles. That's why I came out and I tasted, different varieties, other Blue Note. I just didn't want to come out and say, well, this Blue Note is an everyday sipper. But they all, Blue Note makes all of these products are definitely quality products. If I had one to talk about that, maybe, came in, as something I didn't expect due to the fact that I had tried, all of the other Blue Note products, is probably the Blue Note Crossroads. It comes in, it's a toasted French oak, and I tried it last night. I didn't try it last night. As you can see, I actually had a pour of it last night just because I hadn't tasted it in quite some time, and the finish on this one is one that that's sort of lacking. It's due to the fact that it's kind of dry going down, and I'm not a big fan of those type of bourbons that are just dry. It sort of leaves you like almost wanting to drink a little bit of water afterwards. And so out of all those products right here, this one I probably had to put, in last place if I had to rate any of them or anything like that, just because of that finish. It was sort of dry. It has the fruits, the plums, and it's sort of oaky to begin with. It's very oaky to begin with. Just at that finish, is something that, for me, I wasn't really too pleased with. But once again, that doesn't stop you from going out and taking a look at these other products. And from Blue Note, to me, they're always going to be go-to. So, at the end of the day, that's it. That's all I got. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment in the comments below if you feel differently about Blue Note or anything like that, or if you feel differently about anything I said, great, wonderful. But you guys have a great remainder of your weekend, and see you next time on Let's Taste It. Peace.